On November 10, 1995, the following Ogoni activists were hanged by the military government of Nigeria: Barabor Bera, Saturday Dobi, Nordu Iyowo, Daniel Gaboku, Baranam Kiobo, John Kapuanan, Paul Lavira, Felix Nuate, and Ken Sarawiwa. This program is dedicated to their memory and the heroic struggle of the Ogoni people of Nigeria for their rights. The struggle still continues. This production is made possible by the Ogoni Solidarity Network, a grassroots organization of students, environmental and human rights activists, and concerned citizens inspired by the peaceful struggle of the Ogoni people to stop the environmental devastation of their homeland in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. The Ogoni Solidarity Network hopes to continue its awareness and outreach efforts to inform Canadians about the plight of the Ogoni people. It also wants to highlight the Shell Oil Company's role in the ongoing misery and murder in the Ogoni homeland. From October 27th to 29th, 1996, the Ogoni Solidarity Network hosted the visit of Dr. Owens Wiwa, an Ogoni, a medical doctor, a human rights and environmental activist, and the younger brother of the late Ken Sarawiwa, writer, Nobel Peace Prize nominee, Goldman Environment Award recipient, and a leader of MASUP, the movement for the survival of Ogoni people. Dr. Owens Wiwa is on the steering committee of MASUP, and during his visit to Vancouver, he made numerous appearances on MASUP's behalf, including talks at the University of British Columbia, Simon Fraser University, Vancouver Community College Langara, and the Christian Reformed Church in Richmond. Dr. Wiwa's visit received very little mainstream, read corporate media coverage, so the Ogoni Solidarity Network, with technical assistance from the Sierra Club Lower Mainland Group and production facilities from the Rogers Community Network, recorded parts of his visit. The Ogoni Solidarity Network is pleased to present his talk at the Vancouver Planetarium, October 27, 1996.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I must first convey our gratitude and appreciation for all those who put in so much effort in the attempt to save the life of my brother and 8 of my colleagues. I say thanks because I hope similar efforts or more efforts will be put into place to save the lives of 19 other of my colleagues, 19 other Ogoni people who have been in detention since May 1994 to face the same military-appointed tribunal for the same charges for which my brother was and others were hanged. It is likely that they will be killed if the world do not say no. It is very likely, and I hope we save them. We did try a lot, everybody did, to see that justice is done, but Shell had other reasons. Why are the Ogoni people struggling this way, despite the killings? Why? That's some of the questions I wish to answer in the little speech I will make today. The Ogoni people are only 500,000 people, poor, very poor, the poorest people in this world, although we live in one of the richest strips of land in the world. The paradox of this situation is what we are going to examine, because centuries back, during the inhuman trade of slavery, European merchants armed, African middlemen and chiefs to decimate their own people and take captives as slaves to provide energy for the West. After that came colonialism. The African people, different people were put together or divided with lines drawn at the Berlin Conference by European powers for the economic benefits of Europe. Following that came the horrors of apartheid. Now we are faced with what is being referred to as environmental racism, where European companies arm and give money to military dictators to decimate their own people so that they can take out the oil to provide energy for the technologies of the West. But they do not only take off the resources. While taking off these resources, they destroy. They use the worst method ever to take away the oil and destroy our environment. When our environment is destroyed, our trees, our rivers, our land is polluted, how do they expect us to feed? When this is being done, even against the cries of their own people, of the environmentalists here, against the cries of the consumers of the oil, they continue to do that. Why would a company or the people in that company not listen to their own consumers? Why would they not listen? Why would they do in my land what they cannot do in Holland or England? The trees in Ogoni are green, the same as the color of the trees over here, at least in summer. If they will respect the trees here, why won't they respect our trees? Is it because we live there? Different color? Is that the reason? We will examine that as we go on our talk. The Ogoni people saw themselves dying a lot. They saw our trees getting out, our forests being destroyed. We saw our land being polluted and devastated. We saw our streams being polluted, our air that we breathe being poisoned with the poisonous gas that comes from the gas flares 24 hours a day for 35 years. People were getting very sick. We had to do something about this. Right from the period of colonialism, the Ogoni people refused British rule. During the period of slave trade, no Ogoni person was ever taken as a slave. Now, even though we were on the slave route, the unity that binded us as an indigenous people, the chiefs did not take their subjects to be sold as slaves. That was prevented. We did not have any clashes with our neighbors to produce captives. It did not happen in Ogoni. Colonialism, the British forces landed in Ogoni in 1901. The Ogoni people refused to sign any treaty with the British. Our neighbors, other Nigerians, signed treaties, but we refused. What you heard about villages being destroyed, being burnt, happened between the period of 1901 to 1914, when the British forces defeated the Ogoni people. By 1914, we woke up to find ourselves within a country that has been created called Nigeria. That was fine. But in this Nigeria that was created, different people, different nations with different aspirations were banded together and held together by force, by the colonial forces. We protested against this, and in 1947, we had our own native authority created for us. Within these years, the Ogoni people by themselves were able to build their hospitals, their schools. We were able also to send some of our people to school over to America and to Europe to study more. We did this by ourselves, using our own crops which we planted and our own fish we ate and sold to others who were not fortunate to have the sort of fertile land that we had. However, come 1960, when Nigeria got their own independence, or before then, there was another intrusion on the Ogoni. Shell came to our land in 1958. I would say that when Shell came, the people were happy. They thought this was an industry that was going to employ people and also build more hospitals, more schools. That was our thinking. We never knew anything about oil at all. There was no cars in Ogoni. Even up till this moment, there are not up to 200 cars in the whole of Ogoni. That was our thinking. But we saw this company come to our land with a white paper. Not a lot of people could read. And with that, they just went on to bulldoze our crops, made roads in our land. The roads did not connect one village to the other. No, it connected one oil well to the other, in most cases by passing villages or just passing through villages. They didn't care that the people needed the land to continue making their crops. They did not care that we had in our forests animals and our shrines, which was us. Yeah. They did all they did without caring for the needs of without at times asking the people anything. At times they did not regard us as people in any way from their insensitivity from what we saw. We started complaining about that, about what they were doing almost immediately, and also complained to the Nigerian government. Nigeria, my country, is very populous, 100 million people, the 10th most populous country in the world, and also the highest concentration of black people in the world. 1 out of every 8 black person you see is a Nigerian. There are 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria, 3 major ethnic groups: the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Hausas. We have lived together through times immemorial. There has never been this sort of scenario that you have been seeing until when oil and other factors came into play.
Hey, ho, ho, Big Bad Shell has gotta go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Big Bad Shell has gotta go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Big Bad Shell has gotta go. Hey, hey.
The Ogoni Solidarity Network is pleased to present Dr. Owens Wiwa at the Vancouver Planetarium, October the 27th, 1996. His talk has been edited to serve the cause of activism and to fit the 1-hour time constraint. For more information or to help the Boycott Shell rallies, contact the Ogoni Solidarity Network at the Sierra Club Lower Mainland Group. Telephone 873-8554, fax 872-0709, email ogoni@vcn.bc.ca, or check out the webpage at sierraclub.org/Sarah Wiwa.